He's one of the greatest of all time. I'm thrilled to introduce Roger Staubach this morning here on the show. Roger, good morning.
Good morning, Damon. How are you?
I'm doing tremendous. Thank you for joining us. This is the second time we've had a chance to chat, and I'm thrilled to have you back on the show. And USAA is going to host military members for a special salute to service event with you before the NFL draft kicks off tomorrow night. Obviously, you do so much for veterans and those who have served. This should be a pretty special event for you tomorrow night. How excited are you?
Well, it should be great. It's I've had the chance at the Army-Navy game also to meet with the vets, and every time you do that, you're proud that you were a vet, and it's really an honor to speak to the vets. So it'll be a lot of fun.
When you came out of Navy, obviously you had a lot of people looking at you as an NFL quarterback, so that wasn't the question. The question was your service time and going into the Navy and needing to basically delay your NFL entrance by 4 years. And so you dropped all the way to the 10th round going into that draft. What are your memories about where you thought you would get drafted and where you were being projected? Because it wasn't like it is now, but I'm sure you had some sense.
Well, I was still a junior at the Naval Academy. I was second class, which is a junior, and I went to junior college 1 year before I went to the Naval Academy. So I was able to, not really pay attention to the draft that much. I didn't think I really would even be drafted. I had another year to go at Navy and 4 years in the service. So I saw in the Washington Post the next morning when I woke up that I was drafted by Dallas and Kansas City, and it wasn't a big deal, and no one called me or no agents called me to represent me. And I knew that I still had a year to go at Navy and 4 years in the service. So it really wasn't the draft was a big deal, but it wasn't a big deal for me.
That's so interesting. And so you got drafted by the AFL and the NFL. And then how did you decide to go the Cowboys route? How did you guys negotiate which team you would play for?
Well, so again, I had my first class senior year to go at Navy. And Dallas did come in, Dallas and Kansas City, when they drafted, Dallas did mention came to see my parents, talk to them about if I maybe left the service, I could play. And, that was a non-event to even think about that. So I didn't really hear much from anybody. I played my senior year at Navy, and I got hurt in the opening game and missed a lot of the season, but I, ended up okay. And I played in the college all-star game, where all the college players played the pros, which was the Cleveland Browns at the time, the champions. And so the scouts were there, and that was in the summer. I was an ensign in the Navy, and I took leave. And because I had a real good training camp there, Kansas City, Lamar Hunt came and asked me if he could come to see me in Annapolis. I was stationed for a few more months at the Naval Academy, and so my wife and I just got married. So he came over to visit with us and made an offer that if I ever played again, if I would play for Kansas City, and he offered me $500 a month and $10,000 bonus. And I said, well, holy cow, that's a lot of money. And so I got a hold of a Navy legal officer, Captain Paul Borden, who became my agent, I guess, because he said, did you ever talk to Dallas? And I said, no, they haven't said anything. And so he called the Cowboys, and they said, we're interested in Roger. And so come up to Philadelphia. They were playing the Eagles. Cowboys are playing the Eagles in a couple of weeks. So Captain Borden went up there, and they said, we'll match that offer. And so he called me, and I said, yeah, that's fine. If I ever play football again, I'll play for the Dallas Cowboys. So Lamar Hunt called me back, where I called him and told him I had done that, and he said, well, I was just starting to negotiate with you. So really, it was kind of when you're 23 years old, you can't conceive what you're going to be doing at 27. But again, I signed, so if I ever left, when my service obligation was over, I knew I had a chance to play for the Dallas Cowboys.
What a fascinating story. Pro Football Hall of Famer, Super Bowl MVP, Roger Staubach, of course, Naval Academy graduate. He's working with USAA and is using its NFL sponsorship to further military appreciation, salute to service initiatives, and they will be hosting an event with Roger and members of the service and veterans tomorrow night before the NFL draft, which is just an amazing awesome experience. Again, that's going to be a big thrill for you. What are you looking forward to most as we just kind of wrap up with the final 30 seconds here, Raj?
Well, it's being with the military. I mean, it's an honor for me to have served 4 years and to be with our veterans, and they appreciate that service, and I appreciate each and every day what our men and women do for us to protect us, my kids, grandkids, and it's a wacky world out there. So it's a real honor to get a chance to talk to our veterans.
No doubt. I feel the same exact way. I'm so thankful that you guys are able to do that. USAA, the official military appreciation sponsor of the NFL. Roger, it's a thrill always to talk to you. Thank you so much for carving out time for us. Have a great event tomorrow night, and hopefully we can talk to you again down the road.
Okay, Damon, take care.
You
Bye.
too.